Hello, welcome back to the Boardgames4K YouTube channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video we're going to be talking about a sort of semi-controversial game that's caused a bit of a stink in the board game industry in the past. We are going to be talking about Cards Against Humanity, and this is a game where one person will be the card czar and they will be deciding who can make the best combination of sort of offensive and sometimes non-offensive words or phrases after they have been posed a question. So in this video we will be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We'll be telling you what we do like, what we don't like, then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Cards Against Humanity is worth playing today and in the future. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below. Subscribe if you like what you see here. And we'll see you after this. So, Cards Against Humanity. How'd you play this game? So the game tells you that the player who last had a dump is going to be elected to be the card czar, right? And the card czar is the person that is going to read out the black cards or the questions, or going to pose a conundrum with the black cards, right? So every other player is going to answer the question that's posed, or sort of fill in the blanks as you were with the white cards, you know. So to start the game, everybody draws 10 white cards, and on these cards are sort of answers or replies to a question posed. So some of the black cards in this game are, so you might have what ended my relationship as one of the cards. You might have maybe she's born with it, maybe it's a blank. Can't have that one. In Wormwood Scrubs, word is you can't trade 200 cigarettes for, or Jim will fix it, right? So you get the idea, right? Yeah, so they take it or leave it. Some of these cards are offensive or not offensive. So you'll be pairing these black cards with white cards, and some of these white cards that you can get are can't use that one. Solving problems with violence, right? Overcompensation. Can't mention that one. A lifetime of sadness. Sounds like my life to me. Sunshine and rainbows. A monkey smoking a cigar, or a court-ordered rehab, right? So, yeah, I think you're going to get the idea with this. You'll be posing a question, and then you will be answering it, and then the cards will take all the cards into their hand and shuffle them up, and then they'll place them out, and they'll say the beginning bit of the phrase, and then they'll say the end bit, and then cards will choose which answer, which combination they like the best, and then you'll get points for that. Basically, you'll keep doing this until you get bored of it, which, believe me, won't take very long. Whoever's got the most points will be the winner of Cards Against Humanity. So what do we like about Cards Against Humanity? So the first thing that we like about Cards Against Humanity is really, if you're honest with yourself, if you dig deep inside yourself, you've got to acknowledge that this game brought independent board gaming to the masses in a sort of strange, sort of roundabout way, because this game started on Kickstarter, got quite a bit of funding, I do believe, and then it spread from there, and most people that I know have at least heard of this one. They might not have played it, but most people have heard of this one. And Cards Against Humanity, the people behind it, have sort of donated money to good causes. They've done stunts to raise money and stuff like that. So this game is sort of partially responsible for bridging that gap between the mass market Hasbro Monopoly crap and opening that door to the more independent type of board games, so that the masses can see what's going on. Yeah. So the second thing that we like about Cards Against Humanity is, if I'm brutally honest with myself, I have found this game to be hilariously funny at times, right? I mean, that fun and laughter doesn't last very long, and it is kind of dependent on who you are playing this with. I mean, we wouldn't play this with my mother, for starters, you know, but you have got the option of filtering out those more offensive cards that you feel may not be appropriate for your particular group of people that you're playing with. But yeah, hand on heart, I have actually found this game to be quite hilarious at certain times, yeah. So the third thing that we like about Cards Against Humanity is that there are plenty of variants in the rule book, because this game is so basic and so feeble in its mechanics, yeah, they've had the nous, if that's how you pronounce it, to provide you with certain variants, or what they call house rules. So you've got ones called Rando Cardrisian. Every round, pick one random white card from the pile and place it into play. This card belongs to an imaginary player called Rando Cardrisian, and if he wins the game, all players go home in a state of everlasting shame, right? Or you might be able to choose Rebooting the Universe. At any time, players may trade in an awesome point to return as many white cards as they like to the deck, right? And awesome points are basically victory points, yeah. So they've had the courtesy to try and flesh out this somewhat bland tasting salad with a few extra condiments that may or may not make the game taste better for you, right? Maybe. So the final thing that we like about Cards Against Humanity is that no matter how sensitive you are to the content in this game, you do have the option to filter out the cards that you don't like. Right, yeah, you don't have to play with the Jimmy Savile cards. You don't have to play with the bawdy, nasty cards that are going to make your eyes pop out of your anus. So it's up to you. You can mould this game however which way you want. In fact, you don't even have to play it if you don't want to. So there's one thing that you can think about when you're talking about Cards Against Humanity. You know what I mean? So what don't we like about Cards Against Humanity? So the first thing that we don't like about Cards Against Humanity is the game essentially is probably one of the most basic games you're going to get, yeah, and it's been done to death. There's been plenty of other games like it. I mean, Dixit did it much better than this. That had a unique slant, but this relies on cheap thrills, cheap laughs to get it through. And believe me, it doesn't last that long. So the second thing that we don't like about Cards Against Humanity is that some of the combinations simply aren't that funny. Quite regularly, you're going to suffer from combinations coming out that just don't do anything. They don't make people laugh either. They're too offensive or they're just not offensive enough, depending on who you're playing with, yeah? So you're going to get these sort of lulls in the game where nobody's going to be laughing, and that kind of destroys the flow of the game. I mean, in order for this to work, you're going to have to consistently have laughs, and the laughs are going to have to get more and more animated as the game goes on, and that simply doesn't happen with this game. So the third thing that we don't like about Cards Against Humanity is that these types of games age badly due to the topical nature of its content, right? Because this is the UK version of the game, yeah? There is an American version, and dare say there's going to be like an Antarctic version or something like that for people that live in Antarctica. And the fact is that if you've bought this game now, in 5-10 years' time, you'll be looking through the cards and, you know, Rolf Harris isn't going to be funny anymore. Michael Jackson isn't going to be funny anymore. Well, maybe Michael Jackson will always be funny, but due to its topical nature, this game is going to suffer in the same way that Trivial Pursuit is. Sort of makes people scratch their heads if you're playing the old Genesis edition that we got down there. You know, we've pulled it out and it's like, what the hell? I don't remember who that was or what that was. So there you go. That's a real bad downer. So the final thing, and probably the most important thing that we don't like about Cards Against Humanity, is that we keep on bloody hearing about it. People won't shut up about this game, and it drives us up the wall that people keep moaning about how offensive this game is. And it's constant. It keeps going on and on about it. I mean, we've already admitted that we found this game funny, right? Shoot us if you don't like that. But plenty of other people found it funny for varying reasons. It might not be anything to do with the offensive content, because you can filter that out if you want. But please, shut up about it. It's out there. It's offensive. It's meant to be offensive. And if you don't like it, don't play the bloody thing. So to summarise, is Cards Against Humanity worth playing today and in the future? And we are going to say no. This game is pretty bad. In fact, we'll go so far to say that it's a load of shit, right? We do acknowledge that this game sort of opened that door and acted as a gateway for people that would normally buy mainstream games from, say, I don't know, Tesco's or whatever, so they could peek into the netherworld of independent style gaming, right? So that's good, right? But the fact is that this game, the mechanics are weak, right? We've seen it all before. There are better we pick, you choose games out there. Regardless of what you think about the offensive content, that is the whole point in this game. It allows people to access that dark side, for right or wrong. It doesn't really matter. We're not here to justify this game, and we're not here to slag this game off. But the fact is, we don't play this game anymore for the simple fact that we don't like it. It's boring. So we have found it fun for 5 seconds, but then we saw through it, and that was the end of it. So we're going to give Cards Against Humanity 2 stars. There's better games out there. If you want to spend 25 quid on a game, go out and get yourself a game that is going to make you laugh all the time, and for the right reasons as well. Don't worry about the offensive content, because you have got a built-in filtering mechanism in this game, and that is called your hands, right? You can take the cards out. So there you go. That's Cards Against Humanity. Remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below. Subscribe if you enjoy our content. And we'll see you in the next one.